Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Angela Brennan and today I'm bringing you Spellbinders BetterPress of the Month, the Christmas haul. I used this on its own because it came really late and I decided to just use this set on its own without the other sets. It can be easily accommodated with the other sets because of the Christmas theme, but this set I decided to use it on its own, and it comes with a registration plate, which is the plastic sheet that shows you how to place the BetterPress plates on your chase when you're doing the letter pressing. So this is the registration plate which I'm going to attach onto the magnetic platform, which is called the chase, with some best ever craft tape, and then I'm going to place the BetterPress plate, which is the large car, first, and I'm going to impress that image after inking it with some strawberry BetterPress ink onto the 100% cotton card. I used the Crane's LETTRA cotton card, but you could use the cotton card that's available at Spellbinders as well. I use this because I find it more cost effective for my purposes. Now the impression is beautiful. And now to put the tires, I just removed the other BetterPress plate and place it according to the image shown on the registration plate, which is a plastic sheet, and I ink it with some BetterPress black ink. Very carefully, because these are tiny BetterPress plates, they might move. If they move while you're inking it, just move it back into position and then put it through your Platinum 6 machine again, and it will impress it so beautifully and in the right placement as well. Then I remove that image and I decide to use a new card where I will ink and impress the other images, which is the tree as well as the sentiments. The tree and the sentiments come with coordinating dies, which is why I'm going to be impressing them on the BetterPress machine separately. For the sentiments, I'm using black ink, and for the tree, I'm using the leaf ink that comes from the Flower Garden set. I put the tree in a few times because I want to get a gradation of color, so a little bit of shadow at the bottom. I tried that with the BetterPress ink again, and I also used some Catherine Pooler inks to get a darker green. I've got limited BetterPress inks, so I can use other inks as well when I want to get a slight different gradation of color on the BetterPress plate. There are three components for successful letter pressing. You need to use the right card, ink, and you make sure the shim on your sandwich is correct. Now, someone asked me a question saying, why does the ink bleed? It could be because you're putting too much ink, or your shim's too thick, or you're not using the right card. Use a cotton card, 100% cotton card. It doesn't have to be the exact cotton card that is in Spellbinders, but I'm using 100% cotton card, but you can even use 100% watercolor card so you can get the right impression. And if you think the ink bleeds, use a less of a shim and don't put too much ink. So keep trying with different inks and see what works. Now, to remove the BetterPress ink from your BetterPress plates and from your chase or your platen, use Range's Archival Ink Cleaner. It removes it well. Even if the BetterPress plates stain, they will still perform just as well. So don't worry about the ink staining your BetterPress plates or even your chase, but you can clean it to your best of your abilities with the Archival Ink Cleaner, and it should get rid of most of the ink. So don't worry about it, because most of the BetterPress plates that I use, the ink does remain when I use the BetterPress inks, but it functions just as well. Now I'm going to use the coordinating dies and die cut the tree as well as the sentiments. I go on to make a few different versions of the tree and the sentiments in different colors because I make 4 cards at the end of the day. With the tree, I end up trying it with the gradations of different inks of green or different shades of green to get a little bit of shadow and different colors in the tree itself. Here I'm die cutting that snow or the snow drifts that I'm going to be putting onto the composition of the card that I'm going to create. I also try with Catherine Pooler inks for the car, but this time I'm doing it onto a blue card. Now this is not 100% cotton card, but this card is soft enough that it goes through the machine. So sometimes you want it slightly softer, just rub the back of the card with a damp chamois, and then you can put it through. So the fibers in the card are soft enough for the impression to come out beautifully. So I'm just trying it on different colored cards. So you've got light pink and you've got a light blue as well as the LETTRA's 100% cotton card. So here I'm going to show you how I assemble the card. I give the sentiment, which is also worked as the registration plate of the car that you see, a double layer just by die cutting an extra bit with the die available, and I attach it to the back of the car. And then I'm going to attach the leaves and the snowdrifts, etc. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. And when you do subscribe, remember to press that notification bell so you're alerted when new videos are uploaded. I do lots of Spellbinders tutorial videos, especially for the Spellbinders Clubkits and most of their core releases that comes out every month. For the Spellbinders Clubkits, now this is going to be my last video for this month. What I'll do after that is I've got 5 videos altogether. I'll put them into a playlist and I'll post that on my channel, Angela Brennan Creations. Then when you get your Clubkits, you can just look at that playlist for some inspiration or some guidance on how to assemble the dies as well as how to use some of the kits. Sometimes the dies and kits can look a little intimidating, but when you break it down and you see it step by step how it's done, it actually is very, very user friendly. So it's all about going for it, trying it out, and then you can create some amazing cards. And the great thing about the Spellbinders Club Kits, which you can order between the 6th and 27th of every month, is that it's a theme and all of the club kits go so well together. I used the splatter white opaque watercolor to try and get a bit of a snow effect here, but the background is light pink, is too light a color. So I end up putting a little bit of light, tiny drops of blue later on, but on the blue background it comes out quite well. Now to assemble this card, I'm putting a little bit of a blue at the bottom, the same blue that I used for the car to impress the car, just to get a slightly different assembly of this card. Thank you so much for bearing with my voice. I'm still recovering from a cold, which is why my Spellbinders Club Kits videos are coming out a bit late this month. Trying to get out of this cold for a little while now. It's been taking a little bit longer than usual. So thank you for bearing with it, and I hope you can still get what I'm trying to say. So when I'm assembling these cards, I decided to add another sentiment at the bottom. I've got loads of foiled Christmas sentiments that I keep separately. I think there's a video that shows how I like to do all my foiling in a oneer and then use it whenever I want to assemble a card. So it's handy to have these foiled sentiments available. Doesn't have to be just Christmas cards. Any foiled sentiments. Once I put my foiling machine or my glimmer machine on, I tend to do lots of foiling, especially for sentiments. I back the card panel with some foam sheet per usual. I give it for some dimension. I like to have dimension on my card panels when I'm putting onto my base card, just for some interest. And then I'm going to be putting it over the A6 card. So this is an A6 card, which is a common card size in the UK, which measures 14.8 centimeters by 10.5 centimeters. I will add the splatters of light blue later on when you can see the completed cards at the end. Here I'm adding a little bit of ink blending to the corners of the card. This card is a light blue card. I'm just putting some slightly darker blue to the edges to give it a little bit more contrast before I assemble the card. All of the products I've used are listed in the description below for your ease of reference. Once I've put the cards together, I realized I want a little bit of glitter, so I decided to add some glitter to all of the snowdrift parts. Now, a bit tricky to do it once you've already assembled the card, but you can carefully do it so that you don't get glitter all over the place. So just on those snowdrift die cuts, I add glitter. And later on, I also add some additional snowdrifts to the bottom of the car, just so that I can add a little bit more of glitter. I had some additional snowdrift die cuts and I decided to add it at the bottom of the car. I don't put it for all the cards. I think I only put it for this card and I add glitter. It's nice to have little glitter bits everywhere, especially when there's snow, and it's easy enough to add it if you've got it handy. And you can clean up your glitter easily with some Swiffer cloths. I add a poinsettia to all of the cards because I think it just adds a little bit of a Christmassy feel to the card, and I do put that onto all 4 cards. This poinsettia die cut and the holly die cut is from an old Spellbinders club kit from a couple of years ago. I tend to keep all of my Christmas club kits because I know the theme goes so well together. So this tiny poinsettia dies I absolutely adore it, and I've used it quite a few times in various die cuts when I want to add a bit of an accent of a flower. I've made 4 cards, all similar themed, but I use slightly different inks, slightly different colors, and I just want to show that you can use different cards, different inks, and still come up with some amazing cards with your BetterPress plates. I really hope you've enjoyed the video. Please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. And when you do subscribe, remember to press that notification bell so you're alerted when new videos are uploaded. Do stay on to the end of the video so you can see close-up pictures of all the cards I've created. I really hope all of my videos give you inspiration and the impetus to try out the compositions that I've shown you, as well as the tutorials on how to get started on some of the die sets or some of the club kit sets that you get within the Spellbinders club kits. Thank you so much for stopping by. Happy crafting, and I'll catch you in my next video. Do take care.